helpful that you kind of did the same thing with Tim Patrick earlier in the season?
Very similar. Yeah, we were able to talk through some of the formations, motions a little bit to get a quicker onboarding, and obviously the relationship I mentioned yesterday with EB is definitely helped that out.
Josh tying the record for franchise for career sacks for the franchise. How special was that moment, and how special will it be once he eventually sets it?
Yeah, really cool moment. Not just for Josh, but obviously all of us to be a part of it. The guys in that room that have also worked really hard to help Josh to have the success that he's had over the course of his career. He's playing his tail off and knows that this is a huge opportunity this week for us to really take the next step. And he's been taking things personally, but also he's very, I think, appreciative of the moment, of what he's been able to do here in a lot of ways. And I know that he's very focused on winning right now.
Can't say he's about as selfless of a player as you'll find. Just how cool is it to have a guy that's a leader of the team that doesn't even really care about what he does as long as the team is succeeding?
Yeah, I think a guy that knows success, personal success and professional success in different times in his life, what's important to him now. There's definitely the record and all that is obviously on the horizon. And we all want it for him, and I know he wants it bad too, but he also, at the forefront of his mind, is, continuing to take us to the next level as an organization, as a team, and winning being the number one goal.
Liam, on a somber note, the Dallas Cowboys situation yesterday, how much was that not a reminder, but a reset for you and your staff to say if you see something, say something, but also just to check in with these guys?
Yeah, I had a number of guys in the building that were very close to him, and it's prayers are with him and his family and the Dallas Cowboys. But a number of guys in the building here had a relationship, and so those are always difficult moments to get through emotionally, and then the questions that you start to ask yourself when potential things like this happen, and you start to ask a lot of questions, and not all can be answered right now, and it takes a lot of time, and it does get better.
David Lloyd make the progress you wanted to see this week, ready to go for this week?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
What were you looking for? Anything specific you were looking for this week to know that he was all good?
Just a consistent, not, just the rep volume of reps not affecting the movements. That's really what it came down to, is just he's been looking great in Indy, and then in the limited amount of reps he was getting kind of leading up to was just the volume, the every day, the every play, the every drill, going through it pain-free and without any issues.
Tootin and Allen, how do you test them in practice? Do you throw them a protection maybe they haven't seen, or a different run look to see, hey, they've picked this up, now I can trust them in another situation?
Yeah, I mean, LeQuint definitely is probably at that point for sure where he could maybe just go see something different and go react. And Tootin is definitely improved on the protection piece, absolutely. LeQuint has a different level of, because he's in on so many more of those third down situations, he's a little bit more exposed to those different looks, different stunts, different twists, different pressures. So they've definitely improved, both of those guys. Young backs figuring out the protection world is not an easy task, and Chad's done a great job with them.
When they were in college, is it C guy, block guy?
Yeah, I mean, you still have half man, half slide protections in college, right? Where you're Mike IDing it. It might be O-line is 4 down to the middle 3. The back scans will the nickel. It may be, they still have, there's all pretty good protections in college football. It's more so just what you're seeing on a play in and play out basis. Also the speed in which those twists, stunts, pressures are occurring. That's the difference in how one mistake, obviously in protection, can really screw up a play.
In what areas has Anton Harrison gotten better as a player?
I think the consistent, first and foremost, the consistent, strain in and out when he's playing and straining to the best of his ability. Good things are happening for Anton. I think he's really pass pro'd well at a high level when he's in one-on-one opportunities. And, he's really strained and pulled some holes and pried some holes open for us as well in some of the gap schemes. And so he's, when Anton's playing at that level, it's really fun to watch, and it's great for our offense.
I don't know if you saw him mic'd up but Maxx Crosby.
Yeah.
When did you realize he was that guy?
And it was very early on in the building, seeing him and just the way he operated. But once we put the pads on in training camp, he and Ventrell had a pretty gnarly blitz in practice that you were, you got to take a step back here, and say how he stepped up, how we met him. But it was just a great rep from both sides, honestly. And you saw Quint, his reaction after, and you're like, okay, this guy's got something. And Camden, New Jersey, went up to Syracuse, helped get that program turned around in a lot of ways, and so that is infectious.
You love that attitude?
Absolutely love it.
Really has no reason to have that attitude.
Absolutely love it. It's it's definitely part of our wanting to be part of our DNA.
Jordan and Jarian have been really close this year. How can that kind of be advantageous when Jarian has that opportunity to find that?
Yeah, it's to lean in on connection, communication, trust, right? There's a trust level there. You're hearing it in the building from your coaches and from the assistant position coaches, but to also get the guy that you trust and respect's perspective on splits, formations, motions, alignment, assignment, what could come up in these situations. All of those things really help a guy, like Jarian, that is trying to soak up as much information as possible and go play fast and play better for us again this week.
This kind of found its way over the course of the game. Can you manufacture a faster start? I think you were there early in the year.
Yeah, I think if we didn't turn it over or down on the 1-2 yard line last week, I think the start was probably where we were at. Obviously 3-and-out on the first drive, and then got it going a little bit there. So I think we were on our way to starting faster than we had been. And so ended up not working itself out, but the ability to be balanced is what you're hunting up, though. Absolutely. And just the accuracy within the second half and through overtime, the amount of guys making plays, like we do need it earlier. We do need it to show up for all 4 quarters. That's all really it comes down. It's not just about the beginning or the end, as we know. It's like, man, can we go out and play 4 quarters of our best ball that we have truly yet to do?
How much have you enjoyed the challenge as a head coach of a rematch against a divisional opponent? I know you've had it before, but from the head coaching perspective and being in charge of all of it, how cool has it been this week?
Well, you just see, I just watched the 49ers game again, Houston defense, and you see at the end of the game how much any win means. D'Amico's on the side. Those guys are hyped, and it's just winning football games is hard in this league. And so when you get these opportunities to compete against high-level competition that is going to be a fight, probably a 4-quarter football game, and there's a lot that goes into that. There's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of focus, detail that goes into it, and to get yourself into that place as well as a competitor, this is a great op for us.
Baker question real quick. When you guys had to cram him for a Thursday night start, like it goes back to 22, what was that 48 hours like before that? How stressful? How did you guys manage to get all that done?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. He has such a unique studying system that he has personally, and so he dove in. I don't know how much sleep he got in those 48 hours himself personally, and then us either as coaches. We were up pretty late that first night when he arrived, doing a cram session. And one of the first things we taught him was our 2-minute menu, which helped him a little bit as well. And but the pressure of it was not that high. He didn't feel. We knew we were going to start John, but we also knew we were going to play Bake at some point in the game, right? And I vividly remember Sean saying to me before the game is like, man, whatever happens, let's just go get some great positive stuff for this guy moving forward. We got him, hey, we got a great opportunity for the next 5-6 weeks, whatever it was, to go have some fun, let it rip, and see what happens. If we win, it could be a minor miracle. And so, that's kind of how it went down. And so it wasn't as stressful. It was just a lot of work and a lot of time. And then you walk out of it with a ton of respect for the person that went and performed it under a high-pressure situation.
Midnight.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, around that time, 1, I would say. Yeah, back in quick because Sean is a morning person. So, that was his first night went well past midnight. Absolutely.
You mentioned watching Houston San Francisco this morning. As a play caller, is the hay ever in the barn, or are you printing your call sheet Sunday morning?
Yeah, we'll print it Sunday at the hotel for sure. But we'll have some of our openers and stuff for the guys today. Things that we did do that last week. We're just kind of getting some of the priority thoughts to these guys a little bit earlier in the week. But also we're still installing the red zone this morning, 2-minute, things like that tomorrow. So it really doesn't stop all the way up until now. Nothing will change though. I do believe in that. We may say, let's take this out, but we're not really looking to try to add too much at this time. It may be refining, tweaking, but trying not to add too much to their plates later in the week. That's not something that's within the plan. I'm not gonna walk in probably tomorrow morning with, hey guys, I found a new play action that I want to run within the first 2 drives of the game type of thing. But you're definitely looking for every possible angle.
Potentially not having Brian Thomas this week, just what does that do to the offense in terms of not necessarily having that elite speed to threaten the top of the defense?
Yeah, I think you can obviously still do it within schematically as well, but it hurts. BT's, he can roll, and he rises to playing against these guys. He has in the past, and had a huge moment for us in that game last time to seal that victory. So not having him is a big deal for us. And, those guys are going to continue to have to step up again this week and go make some dirty, grimy, contested plays, and that's the kind of game it's going to have to be.
Thank you.